Hey everyone, and welcome to the program. I'll be talking about the Monkees Christmas Party Plus, a Record Store Day Black Friday 2019 release. Stick around and we'll dive in. So we're a little bit past the holiday season. We are gearing up. Record Store Day 2020 isn't that far down the road. Uh, and I thought now would be kind of a good time to just kind of reflect on what I had picked up. A lot of times you'll see on YouTube people talking about the list, showing off what they picked up, but not necessarily having a conversation about the quality. Was it any buyer's remorse or anything like that? So I thought, let's fill the gap. Let's get ready in the meantime. Before the next round of releases comes up, and talk a little bit about what I picked up and have a conversation with you about that. So a couple of years ago, I guess it'd be 2018, the Monkees put out a Christmas album called Christmas Party. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm not a huge I really love listening to Christmas music, but I'm not a big a single artist puts out a Christmas album. I don't need to run out and get their Christmas album. I've got a few in the collection. I've got like a John Denver Christmas album, an Elvis Christmas album. I've got the Christmas album on CD from Bob Dylan that was released years ago. That one I really enjoy. But for the most part, I'd rather just hear, compilation albums or just random tunes from rock musicians or pop musicians. I don't need like a full Beach Boys Christmas album. That drives me crazy. I can't listen to that one. I'd rather listen to the whole a various artists type of Christmas album. But I listened to this one when it came out, and I really liked it. It was kind of an extension of their most recent release, their Good Times album from a couple years ago. That was produced by Adam Schlesinger of Fountains of Wayne, and they did a very similar thing with this, where they brought in some contemporary musicians, plus recorded some Christmas classics, and I thought did a really nice job, and I enjoyed it start to finish. And the cool thing about this too is they did unearth a recording from Davy Jones in the 70s. So they were able to include all four band members. I mean, this was mostly a Mickey Dolenz release. None of the Monkees are really playing their own instruments on this. They had session musicians working with them. So it's mostly driven by Mickey Dolenz, a little bit of Mike Nesmith, a little bit of Peter Tork. But it's solid. I really enjoyed it. And I had picked this up on CD. There was a version sold in Target that had some bonus tracks, so I wanted to pick that up, and it was just fun. And I put this in the regular rotation of holiday listening in 2018. This past year, they ended up releasing it on vinyl, so I ended up picking this up because it didn't have all the bonus tracks. It had one of the two bonus tracks from the Target release, but they did include one of them on side B to kind of give you 7 and 7 with a 14 track album. And I got this on a cool kind of like a peppermint twist pressing. So I've really enjoyed this. But for Record Store Day, they ended up putting out a double 7-inch that collected the two unreleased tracks that were exclusive to Target. Plus, they had a radio edit of Unwrap You at Christmas. And then on the B side of that first 7-inch, Unwrap You at Christmas, but the Andy Partridge version, the demo version from, I guess, the 70s, is really cool. They put it out on two 7-inch records, one green, one red. So it's a cool pressing from Rhino. A really nice gatefold release in the spirit of the original full LP. So just to me, a very cool release, and I love the Monkees. They're just a fun band to listen to. I think they've been shortchanged personally by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think they're ones, yes, they were a made-for-TV act. Yes, 2 of the 4 musicians in the band aren't really musicians. They were actors. But they came together. They eventually, all of them learned, that didn't know how to play music. They learned how to play their instruments. They toured. They released a lot of good music, and they've always released, to me, just fun to listen to music. Like, I don't know. I guess you can hate the Monkees, but it's just one of those that is like, how can you hate the Monkees? So I was happy to get this. It's fun. I've got all the Monkees releases. They're just a fun band to listen to, and I, this isn't obviously one that I'm going to listen to in, right now in February when I'm recording this. I'm not going to listen to this one in August, but I'll certainly pop this one out, come November of this year and through the holiday season. If you're looking for this, if you're, a Monkees completist and you hadn't happened to get this, it's still out there. I mean, you might not see it in stores because it was relatively limited, and it is exclusive. It is an exclusive release, so they're not going to make this one again. But if you go on to Discogs, there's enough copies floating out there. It's about $20 or so to pick this one up on the secondary market. So if you've been thinking about it, I would recommend it. It's definitely a fun release, especially if you've got the full album. It's good to kind of complete it with the additional tracks. So, it's certainly one I would recommend if you haven't gotten it already, and it's one that I'll enjoy having in my collection going forward. What do you think? Let me know. Did you pick this one up? Were you happy with it? Was there something that they could have done better to make it maybe better for you? Would have you preferred maybe a 10-inch instead of the 7-inch gatefold? Would have you liked to have seen a 10-inch EP instead? Let me know, are you thinking about picking this one up? Let me know in the comments, obviously, so we can have a conversation about this going forward. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm hoping to get more videos out in the near future, and of course, give me a like. We like to, get a positive review and get this up the charts on the YouTube algorithm that they're using. So thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you soon.